Guys, it's my third time recording this episode. It's actually my third time recording this. First time, audio gets deleted. Second time, another thing with the audio. But anyways, welcome back, ladies, to Don't Quote Me on That. I would ask how everyone's doing, but I know the answer is going to be somewhere along the lines of, Gabby, it's finals week. Finals are coming up. How do you think we're doing? I know I'm on the same boat as you. On Monday, I had 3 presentations and I literally started all 3 presentations like an hour before presenting each one. And then Tuesday, another assignment. I have a final paper due tonight. Anyways, I get you. I feel your pain. I feel your struggle, but we're going to get through it. It's finals week. It's always the same thing, but we always get through it. And there's light at the end of the tunnel called Christmas break. So just hang in there. We're going to get through. It's going to be fine. Try your hardest. Grind it out. But don't forget to take care of yourself too. So today's episode, we're going to talk about school. That's the category for today's episode. But we're not going to talk about school the same way that we've done before, which is usually like academic related and grades and things like that. We're going to talk about high school and the hierarchy of high school. We're going to talk about the popular girls in high school. And the thing about the title, which is Miss Popularity, it's a joke because I have never been the popular girl. Ever. I was actually on the other side of the spectrum. I was the quote unquote loser, nerdy, loner, rejected girl. That was me. I was the opposite of Miss Popularity. So the title's a joke. The title's a joke. And even right now in college, I'm still not the popular girl at all. Far from it. But here's the catch. When I was 14, I really wanted to be the popular girl. Now, 6 years later, I do not want to be the popular girl. So let's talk about it.
Good morning. Can you talk? I really need coffee. I'm so stressed. I was up studying. I'm gonna be late to class. I'll call you later. I just want to be lazy right now. I should probably go to the gym. I'm hungry. Want to hang out? I don't know anyone going tonight. I'm kind of freaking out. Does this look good? It's gonna be so much fun though. I can't wait. And yeah, that's what I would do. Just don't quote me on that.
Here's the thing about popularity. Being the popular girl in high school, what does it mean? It means you're this really cool girl that everybody loves. Right? That's the concept that we have of a popular girl. Everybody loves you. You have a lot of friends. You're getting invited to a lot of parties. You're like the prettiest girl in school. So all of the boys and girls really like you and everybody's obsessed with you. That's what being the popular girl means, right? I really wanted to be that girl. I went out of my way to try to be that girl. And I cried so much to my mom because I wasn't her, and I really wanted to be her. I remember so many times I would tell my mom, like, why can't I be the popular girl? Like, why can't I have 1,000 friends? And why am I getting rejected left and right by every single guy? Why am I not peaking? Why am I not at the peak? So I cried about it a lot. I know what it feels like. I know very well what it feels like to not be the popular girl. And guys, I was going out of my way to try to fit in and to try to be the popular girl. Because the popular girls in my middle school, they all played soccer. I don't know how to kick a soccer ball. I don't know how to differentiate my left from my right when it comes to my feet and have to dribble a ball. I don't even know if you call it dribbling when it comes to soccer. See, horrible. I did not know how to play soccer, but I joined the damn soccer team because if I was part of the soccer team, I was kind of popular in a way. which is ridiculous. But that's something that I did because I really wanted to fit in. I would buy the same clothes that the popular girls were buying at Justice and at Forever 21 and what's that other store called? Claire's. I was there and I was buying the same things that they were because I really wanted to be Miss Popularity. I never got there. I still haven't gotten there. I'm 20 right now and I'm not the popular kid in my college. I have it very clear and I'm very aware of the fact that I'm not popular, and I'm really okay with that right now because it's been 6 years and I learned a couple of things and I understand a few things now. But if we go back to middle school, if we go back to the beginning of high school, when I wasn't the popular kid, I understand how it feels. I understand the struggle and the pain of not being the popular girl. I get it. So that's why, and by the way, every single episode, when I'm talking to you guys, I think that I'm talking to 14-year-old me. I can see myself, by the way, when I'm recording. And when I look at myself, I don't see 20-year-old Gabby. I see 14-year-old me who was crying about whatever the topic for the episode is. So here's what I've learned in the past 6 years, 7 years of my life. First thing, popularity is a made-up concept. Popularity is something that we created. It's something that we set in place, but it's not something that actually exists in the real world. What do I mean by the real world? Well, newsflash, high school is a bubble. High school is 4 years of your life when you're in this little bubble. And same thing goes to college, but I'll talk mostly about like high school and middle school because that's when I really wanted to be popular, but it still applies to college. But it only applies to school. It's those 4 years of this bubble where they created this hierarchy of someone's on top and they're the popular ones, and then someone's at the bottom and they're the loser, quote unquote, rejected, quote unquote, person. I was there. I was at the bottom. Hello, that was me, the girl at the bottom of the food chain. The thing about this hierarchy and this food chain of who's on top and who's at the bottom is that it only applies to high school. It doesn't exist after high school. The second you graduate, that bubble bursts and you're in the real world, and the real world does not have popular adults. There's not an adult more popular than another. There's famous adults, there's very successful adults in their career, but the same concept of popularity, the way that we know the popular girl as the one with a bunch of friends, parties, boys, all of that, that does not exist outside of school. And if you think about it really, like high school and college, it's 4 years. If you add the two up, it's 8. 8 years. You know how small and insignificant that is compared to the rest of your life? We're alive for like 80, 90 years around. So 8, 4, that is such a tiny, tiny little fraction of your life. High school is not your entire life. It is not your life. It has an expiration date called graduation. So that's the first thing that you need to understand, that it's literally a made-up concept that only applies to those 4 years. All adults end up around the same, with the same lives, similar life of they get a job, they have a family, they work, they retire, they die. We all have about the same life. So that structure and hierarchy, that's not a thing for adults. It only applies to when you're a kid. So that's really like first thing that you need to understand. And it's something that I didn't know when I was a kid. When you're 12 and 13, being the popular kid means everything to you because you think that high school is everything and it's the only thing that matters to you. But when it expires and you graduate, what are you going to do with that popularity? You can't apply to a job and put popular on your resume. You can't show up to an interview and say, I was prom queen, and they're going to give you the job. Those things have no value or importance in the real world. And that's something that we don't know when we're teenagers. That's something that I had to learn and something that I came to understand at a later stage in my life. But the whole point of this podcast is for me to tell the 14-year-old girl who's struggling the things that I've learned so you don't go through the same. You don't have to wait 6 years to understand that it's a made up concept for you to be okay with it. Understand it now. Understand it when you're in high school. It doesn't matter when you're older. So that's the first thing you need to understand. I also was thinking about it the other day and thinking about this, and think about high school movies. Any high school movie, Mean Girls, High School Musical, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, The Duff, A Cinderella Story, and I could go on and on. Every single high school movie that you watch, who is the main character of the movie? It's not the popular girl. The popular girl is a secondary character in the movie, and by the way, they're usually portrayed as not the nicest girl. If you're a popular girl, I'm not saying you're not nice. Just looking at movies and looking at, generally speaking, how is the popular girl usually portrayed in movies? They're not the nicest girl. And the whole movie, the plot of the movie, revolves around us, the not popular girl. She is the main character in the movie, not the popular girl. So why are we even trying to be the popular girl? Being the popular girl does not make you the main character. And the reason popular girls are usually portrayed as not the nicest, not the smartest, and again, if you're popular, I'm not saying this is you. I'm talking about movies and generally speaking. They're usually not portrayed as any of those things because they're distracted. School is for learning. School is for building yourself and building a career and the future that you want. That is why we go to school. We go to school to learn. We don't go to school for a beauty pageant. We don't go to school to find boyfriends. We don't go to school to be popular and be invited to every party and have a bunch of friends. That's not what school is for. Those are the distracting parts of school. And the things that distract the popular kid. Because the popular kid is focused on keeping up with that status and keeping up with all the things that come with being popular that we want as the not popular kids. As a non-popular kid, I can tell you guys that those are the things that I wanted. I wanted a bunch of friends, which, by the way, you don't need. Go listen to You Don't Need Friends, like that episode. I wanted a bunch of friends. I was getting rejected left and right. I wanted a bunch of boys. Well, not at once. Not at once. But I wanted a bunch of guys to like me. I wanted to get invited to places. I wanted to be liked by a lot of people. If I had gotten all of those things, I would have never worked as hard as I worked on my academics, on my school, on my grades, on my career, on the podcast. I would not be working as hard on all those things because I would have felt like I had everything. Because you're the popular kid. And then you graduate. All of those things that meant so much when you were popular mean nothing. What stays is what you did with your school. What stays was your determination, how hard you worked, the things you build for yourself and for your future in the long term. The things that you get by being popular, those are just short-term satisfactions. And when you look at the kids who weren't popular in high school, generally speaking, they're usually more successful in their adult life than the popular ones. Because again, the popular ones were getting distracted. So this episode helps both the not popular kid and the popular kid. Because if you are the popular kid, good for you. I really wanted to be you when I was 14. I really wanted to be you. I admired the popular girl. I idolized her. She was the closest thing to a famous person to me. So good for you. I would have loved to have that. But don't let that distract you. Don't let that distract you. Because popularity is not a concept in the real world. It's not. Don't let that distract you from what you're actually in school for, which is learning. And if you're not the popular kid like me, I want to help you understand that it's a made-up concept, that it only applies to high school, and that it doesn't give you anything in return for your life. Like I said, what are you going to put? Prom queen on your resume? That's not going to help you do anything. But I know that it sucks so much. I know it. I've been there. I cried about it too. I know that it's not easy to walk around your school, to sit by yourself at lunch, to get rejected by guys or girls, to not get invited to parties, and to see this one girl or a couple of girls who have everything that you don't. That hurts a lot. But it hurts because you don't know yet that it's a meaningless concept. You can ask any adult, who's the popular kid? Are you popular right now? They're going to tell you, like, what are you talking about? Like, all adults are the same. And they're probably going to tell you that the popular kid in their school isn't doing as well as them. And the thing about that pain that you feel right now is that it helps you grow. If I hadn't struggled with popularity, I could not be filming this episode right now and be giving you guys advice and like telling you that it doesn't matter. If I had been the popular girl, if I had never struggled with anything, this podcast would not exist, basically. It's because of those things that hurt me that I can look at another girl and tell her, before you go through all of that pain and learn by yourself, let me just give you a hand. I wish somebody would have told me this when I was your age. I wish somebody would have told me it doesn't matter if you're popular or not. It matters maybe right now, but right now is 4 freaking years. You live 80. It doesn't matter. And if someone would have told me that, I probably wouldn't have tried so hard to be the popular girl. And it's the reason why I don't try anymore to be the popular girl. I'm not popular in my school right now, but it doesn't bother me anymore because I know that in 5 months when I graduate, my last bubble of college, it's gonna pop. And when it pops, I'm gonna be an adult in the world where popularity does not exist. It doesn't exist outside of high school and outside of college. I wouldn't have tried that hard. It wouldn't have bothered me. It would have still taken me time to be okay with it because the popular kid is still the popular kid and they're still cool. But I would have made peace with it. I would have learned to be okay with it. And that's why I'm okay with it now, because I know these things. I have it very clear in my head that it's a stupid made-up concept. Same way body image is a made-up concept. It's something that we created as humans. It's just in our psychology. If you don't follow that hierarchy, if you don't give it importance, then it won't affect you as much. So if you're not the popular kid, trust me, I get it that it sucks, but also try to remind yourself of this all the time. Whenever you're feeling down because you're not the popular kid, whenever you see Miss Popularity walking around campus, just know that they're peaking right now. They're peaking in high school. I don't want to peak in high school. And I hope that I'm not peaking right now in college. Because the people that peaked in high school, like my popular girls, a lot of them go to college here in Boston and I bump into them at the club and like at things. They're the same. They look the same. They're doing the same things that they were doing in high school. They're where I left them. But I have grown so much more than them because I was focused on what actually mattered. I wasn't getting myself distracted with the things that they were getting distracted. But I was struggling and I was feeling bad for not being the popular girl. So now that I see them and I'm like, you're at the same spot where I left you, I don't even want to be the popular girl anymore. I don't want to be her. I want to be the main character of the movie. For real. Don't want to be the secondary, mean, popular girl character. That's not me. I'm going to be the main character of the movie. And the main character of the movie is not the popular girl. It's just how it works. Watch any high school movie. I'm not making this up. And it's for a reason. And I'm not going to lie to you, my favorite movies are the ones where they show what happens after graduation. Have you ever seen one of those movies where they show the popular kids later on in life? Please tell me in those movies, what is the popular kid doing compared to the kid who wasn't as popular? You tell me. Like, you go watch one of those movies and you tell me where the popular kid ends up versus the not popular kid. Because we, the not popular kids, go underestimated for years. We're seen as nobodies in high school. And when those years go by, the clock ticks, the expiration date comes, and you graduate, all of that potential that they didn't see in us, they will see it. They will see it with our successes. They will see it with everything that we're doing with our lives that is greater than getting invited to parties and being the one everybody likes. Way more to life than that. And it's not like you can just hear this podcast and, okay, you're going to be perfectly fine tomorrow with sitting by yourself at lunch and with getting rejected, and that you're going to accept that with a lot of gratitude and like love the fact that you're not a popular kid. No, nobody loves the fact that they're not the popular kid. I don't love it. I'm not the popular girl in my college right now, and I don't love it. Do I wish that I was the popular girl and getting invited to things? I would have wished that a couple of years ago. Yes. But now I'm like, good for them. Let them have their fun. When it's Saturday night and I see the popular girls partying and going out and all the pictures they post on Instagram and everything, and I'm here in my apartment by myself studying, editing a podcast, doing something for my future, doing something for 30-year-old Gabby, I feel very proud of myself. Very proud of myself, because I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that I'm not letting superficial, made-up concepts distract me from what's actually important and what school was actually made for. And it makes me feel proud. Even if it means that I am sitting by myself Saturday night, completely alone, and I'm petting myself, because sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you're such a loser, Gabriela. Like, you should be out there and being the popular girl if you wanted to. Sometimes I tell myself that. And then I quickly remind myself of this. I quickly remind myself of, but what for? What am I going to gain with it? Oh, memories and a cool, fun life and a lot of pictures to take. Uh-huh. What are you going to do with all of that when you're 30 and applying to a job? I don't know what kind of ambitions and aspirations you have for your life, but I want to be on the cover of a magazine. And the way to get there is not by focusing on getting that prom tiara. That's not the way to get there. The way to get there is through discipline, work, studying. You know what I'm saying. So what do you want to make out of your high school experience? So what concept do you want people to have of you later on in life? Do you want people to look at you when you're 30 and think, oh my God, can you believe that that kid was actually like the popular one? They were like the shit when we were in school, and now look at them. Do you want to be that kid? Or do you want to be the kid who, when you're 30, everybody's like, oh my God, did you see how successful so-and-so is? And to think that in high school, we didn't even look at them twice? That's so crazy. They're going to regret not being your friend. They're going to regret the fact that they saw you as less than because they were considered more than because they were high school popular. High school is not your entire life. And being popular is not something that you can use later on in life, because it doesn't exist outside of college. And you can ask any adult this, and they will tell you the same thing. So don't wait until you graduate for you to realize this and for you to be okay with it. Start now that you're in high school. Start now that you're in middle school. Start now that you're in college. Right now is when it matters that you understand this, so you can stop suffering because you're not the popular kid. That's when you need to understand it. And that's why I'm talking to you the same way that I would be talking to 14-year-old me if they put her right in front of me. I would tell 14-year-old me exactly this. It doesn't matter. Winning your superlatives, being the best dressed, being any title that they give you in high school other than academic achievements is a superficial award that you cannot use later on in life. What you can use is that good grade to apply into a good college, to build a good resume, to get a really good job and be very successful. That is what you can use. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you are like me, if you're not the popular girl. I'm sorry that you feel like you're less than. And I'm sorry that someone's made you believe that because you're not popular, you're not as cool, you're going to be less successful. I'm sorry that this is the stupid concept that we created in high school. And I'm sorry if you're hurting because of it. But you don't have to. You don't have to if you understand this. So it's like a tattoo. Engrave it in your brain. Popularity is a made-up concept that only lasts for 4 years, and 4 years is a small fraction of our lives. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to feel bad and guilty and like, what's wrong with me? You know, like, why can't I be cool? Because you're meant for something greater than just being cool in high school. You're meant for a lot more than that. There's a really big plan for you, and being the popular kid's just going to distract you from that plan. So to wrap up today's episode, I am so glad that I've never been the popular girl. I'm so glad that I'm still not. And if you're not the popular kid, I'm so glad that you're not the popular kid. Because I know that one day I'm going to see you in a cover of a magazine or in an article written about you, or they're going to give you some sort of award way bigger than just being the popular kid in your school. And I hope that helped, because that's the mentality that you need to have. It's just changing the switch in the way you view high school hierarchy. I hope that helped. I hope you were able to relate if you're not popular like me. And if you are the popular kid and you're watching this, like I said, don't distract yourself with that. It's really cool that you're the popular kid and enjoy it. But don't for 1 second think that that makes you more important than somebody else, or that it means you're like guaranteed for life and you're going to be successful. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that. Don't let that distract you from school and from studying, which is what school was actually made for. And before I go, this week, my boyfriend, Nico, he turned 21, which is insane. Because I remember being 14 and thinking that 21 was like this very mature, grown-up ass, basically elderly senior. And we're not. We're really not. Like, we're still kids. 21 is very, very young. It's funny how you have this like concept of time that you look at people older and you think that they're a lot older than you, and then when you get to that age, no, we're still kids. So it's been very fun though to celebrate him. Last night we went to dinner. It was just the two of us. We went to an Italian restaurant. It was very nice. And tonight we're going to celebrate with all of his friends. We're going to go to the club because he can go to the club now officially. I still can't, but I will be there. I will be there. But I'm very happy that he's 21. Happy birthday, baby, if you're watching this. Happy birthday, baby, if you're watching this. Everybody wish Nico a happy birthday. So that's the vlog for this week. I didn't really vlog my days like during the school week because of finals. I'm going insane a little bit. So I actually need to like finish this up really quickly and go finish my final essay for my economics class. So I'm going to do that. But enjoy the rest of the vlog, and best of luck with finals. Please wish me luck. I'm going to need luck too. But I will see you next Sunday.